Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of GG. My guest today is Kevin Connor. He runs a channel called Digital Gator where he does all sorts of video editing and pretty cool stuff. Kevin, how you doing?
Doing well, D-Rod. How are you?
I'm all right, man. So I think everybody already knows we're going to be talking about the top 3 games that we personally feel that need a reboot. So I have to ask you, what's your first one?
All right, my first one is going to be because I was very disappointed when a certain demo came out a few years ago and it never saw the light of day. I want a reboot of Silent Hill.
The first Silent Hill?
Either the first or just the series as a whole. I think the whole thing just needs a reboot.
Really? But Silent Hill 2 was so good, though.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just a little outdated nowadays. I think.
I don't know if it's really outdated, though. They didn't have tank controls in Silent Hill 2, and it just felt good. Like, that game legitimately was, like, a scary game, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, right, but I mean, like, I just need a new Silent Hill, like, either like that, like what we were going to get with Silent Hills from that demo that Hideo Kojima was going to work on.
Something from Hideo, then yes, I agree with you. 110%. 110%. That was one of the few instances when I played that game. And with the lights on, and I actually was like, this was like giving me the chills. And that's hard to do. Like, not a lot of horror games can do that. And that did it pretty well. Like, I'll give you props to that if you're going in that direction.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, PT, the demo that came out for that game, oh my god, it scared the living crap out of me. I mean, this was like around the time I was getting into horror games. Like, I was playing Outlast, Alien Isolation, stuff like that, and I could kind of handle it at that time. But, oh my god, that first, like, jump scare I got from the ghost Lisa in that game, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, I still have nightmares, like, considering it. It doesn't help that nowadays that we have, like, wooden floors in this house, and it reminds me of the house inside that game. Ugh.
Yeah.
Just everything about it was so cryptic, so creepy, and the fact that Hideo said, like, this is, like, barely what that game engine they were working on could do. Like, they made it look like crap. Their version of crap, mind you, to fool people into thinking this was an indie game. So to think that we were going to get something even better than that is absolutely terrifying and equally amazing.
You know, I 110% agree with you. That game was legitimately scary. And like I said, it's hard for me because I like playing horror games. I started back on the first Resident Evil, and that game, dude, I'm talking in the middle of the day. It was getting to me. And another really cool thing that happened was it made me feel like I was in the 90s again because nobody knew how to beat it. So it was like word of mouth again. Oh, I think you got to go over here and you got to put the mic in and you got to talk to this guy. We're like, well, how do we know? So then there's a lot of experimentation with it, and it just felt good. Like, it was engaging.
Instead of just having, like, people online, like, telling you how to do it. I mean, even to this day, like, people are like, okay, what's the correct sequence? Because you can get the baby to laugh by doing this, or you can do this, and, like, it's like there's no... Like, I still feel like there's no correct answer.
Yeah.
And it's even...
I don't think he wants anybody to know. And that's, like, the beauty of it. Like, Stephen King said, like, the beauty of writing a horror book or even a game itself is not knowing the true aspect of where this thing came from and how it all works.
Exactly. The fear of the unknown is the scariest thing imaginable because, I mean, it's coming, like, it's personifying your own fears into the unknown.
Yeah, that game really got to me, so... That's a good choice. I'll give you that one. That was actually because if you were going the other way, I was like, nah, not really. But Hideo's way, I agree with you 110%. It's a great idea. My first pick. Now, you might be disappointed, but I say because it was very overlooked, underrated, and they canceled the third, is actually Mega Man Legends, the first one.
Okay. All right.
So the reason I say that is because it was the first, transition to a really good 3D Mega Man game. Had some RPG elements, had a story going along with it rather than just go left and right and shoot. And that new dynamic was actually fun. And that's what a lot of people, today like The Witcher or any other open world kind of game. People want to explore and see what they can and can't do. So I really feel that would be a good choice. Especially, this was Capcom's heyday. and now they're just nothing. So disappointing.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think a new Mega Man Legends, either 3 or just in general, would be really cool to have. I mean, as far as Mega Mans we've seen, X and the original are like, it's just a 2D scroller. Like, we haven't really gotten like a 3D Mega Man quite yet.
Yeah. So that's just my opinion on it. So all right, what's your second one?
Real quick, I know we usually like to do this uncut, but first off, my headset's dying, and second off, my dog is driving me up a wall.
It's all in fun. It doesn't matter.
All right, fine. So I might not be able to hear you in 2 minutes. My second one is gonna be. I'm gonna kind of cheat because I'm like just bringing it as a whole, but like just Star Wars games in general.
Oh, you want the whole franchise to be rebooted?
I want the whole franchise rebooted. Like, I mean, we lost Lucas, whatever they were called, Lucas Games or whatever, LucasArts. That's right. And also, we just need Battlefront away from EA as far as possible. just give my baby back, okay? Like, just stop butchering that game franchise to death with your freaking microtransactions and BS like that.
Yeah, they did. Okay, first, picking DICE was a great idea. Mm-hmm. They can make some great... The Battlefield games are amazing. Putting EA on it is what put the nail in the coffin. Like, that just destroyed the whole thing. Microtransactions to a point where Disney had to come in and tell them, you better knock shit off or someone's getting a boot in the ass. Like, I don't know what their CEO thinks, but he's also a moron, so whatever. He needs to be removed. As far as the Star Wars being rebooted, they might actually be doing that regardless because of the fact of the new movies, 7 and 8, they're trying to kill off Luke Skywalker and everything else. So it's a good possibility that that's already in the works. We just don't know about it. I do know that they're making that EA is making, I'm pretty sure it was EA that was making another Star Wars game. And of course, they don't want to show anybody the footage. So once again,
I mean, all they said was, "We have a game. It's got a title.
Can I see
hype.
it?" No. That's why I say EA just I agree with you. They need to walk away. A good reboot would be nice, but at this point, I'd say they have to wait a few years because all the fans are very upset at the fact that Battlefront 2 did so bad and everybody got screwed. They lost majority of their fan base. So I think, and a lot of Star Wars fans are hardcore fans. So I really don't think they're going to jump the gun to buy another game, even if they don't follow and track like EA and everything. But I'd say in a few years, maybe it's a possibility. I do like the idea that we could reboot because Battlefront 3 was going to come back in the day where you could transition between space battles and ground battles. Like, why didn't we get that? That is absolutely epic and insane. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I know. I even remember Lucasfilm was working on their Battlefront 3 had like battles in space, and then you could literally from space go to the planet and continue the fight from there.
Yeah, and dive down. Yeah, that's what I was like, dude. And then they cut it, and I don't know what happened, and some funding issue probably. The normal stuff. So either way, all right. So my second pick, it still kind of goes with the first pick because open world exploration is what everybody's doing now between Fallout and everything. Like I said, Witcher is Legacy of Kain.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of like just left field on that one. So Legacy of Kain was one of those earlier games, you'd play and it had that exploration factor. It had the getting strong factor like Mega Man. And it had a very good story branching out, and it was almost like Spawn. Like you woke up and you don't know what's going on, and you're slowly realizing things. And it just had a really cool story and depth and attitude towards it that a lot of people, I feel, missed out on. And that today would do really well if it had a lot of good advertising, and I think it would sell well, my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't think I've ever played those games.
You never
so,
oh my god. Disappointing. I'm gonna tell you right now, when we're done, you need to go play it or watch a YouTube on it, and you'll understand why. Like, it's really worth your time.
I'll watch a YouTube. That's much more accessible.
I'm not spending $10 on a game.
Yeah, right.
All right. So, what's your third one?
I was kind of at a toss-up on these two, but I think like both of them are kind of like I have the same reasons for both of them.
Okay.
That's gonna be FZero and Mother.
FZero and
Just
what?
because. What?
What was the other one?
FZero and Mother.
Mother? I don't like that. I don't like Mother, but I do like FZero. FZero,
Okay. All right.
my god. If they bring that back, dude, I'm in.
I mean, it's just that there's more Smash games than there are FZero or Mother games. It's like everyone knows Captain Falcon from Smash, not from his own franchise.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's bad. It's heavily saturated with fighting games. Well, Nintendo doesn't really have any new ideas. Look how many new IPs that Nintendo has. They don't.
Splatoon
Because they have Zelda
and ARMS.
Super Metroid, Smash. Splatoon was it, and it's just a mediocre shooter for kids. It's okay.
Right.
I mean, but F-Zero I think is a great pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's intense, fast-paced, and if they could balance it properly, then I mean, I think they want to work on it, especially with the Switch. I mean, like, you know, it's practically the fun of GameCube combined with the accessibility of the Wii. So, like, both of those combined, it's like, you know, you got a match made in heaven. So, like, they can literally put any game on there and people will eat it up. And I mean, they've even put a freaking F-Zero stage in Mario Kart 8. So, I'm pretty sure they want to, like, work on it again.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. But knowing today, I think it would do well regardless. Anything that's Nintendo fans just have to buy it, and it's just how it's always been. But I feel that they would incorporate VR, and then that would really make it kind of. I mean, I would enjoy it, but I feel a lot of people get motion sickness if they did that. But
yeah, it's an interesting concept. I mean, you know, with the there's like those little VR like goggle things you can buy like to use with your phone. They could easily probably do something with the tablet of the Switch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they're not, but maybe they feel that they've made just too much money on Zelda and that they're going to make even more on Smash because they're bringing everybody but Waluigi in there. And maybe that's probably the reason why. They just don't feel it's ready to be rebooted yet. But I feel actually F-Zero would be great, and I would love to play it. And that might actually make me want to buy a Switch. Because there's nothing right now that makes me want to buy a Switch. F-Zero would be a pretty good seller. I'm not going to lie. So that was pretty good. That was your third one, right?
Yep, that's my third.
So my third one, and I think a lot of people agree with me on this one, is Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
So
I 100% agree.
Because, I mean, look, they're trying to reboot a franchise, which is Final Fantasy VII, which, you know, they're not. But I feel if they're going to reboot an old game that everybody loved as much as Final Fantasy VII, including its music, is Chrono Trigger.
All right.
How many games you know where you're traveling through time, multiple dimensions, with all sorts of crazy characters? And, I mean, it was a superb game. Like, still today, it's one of the best RPGs of all time. It doesn't get enough attention outside of the RPG community, which is just terrible. And then Final Fantasy gets the whole limelight. I understand why. It was a transition to the first CD-based games and 3D World and, you know, whatever. But Chrono Trigger, I feel, deserves just as much as Final Fantasy VII because the game
especially,
itself.
I mean, like, Chrono Trigger has the gameplay and just the aesthetic of Final Fantasy, and it also has the art style of Akira Toriyama.
Dude,
with
another reason.
Right, who also worked on Dragon Ball. So it's like, I mean, I feel like people would eat that game up, especially if it got like a reboot of some sort. And In fact, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was actually looking up, just in case I needed a refresher of what games I wanted to reboot. I was looking up like top 10, top 20 lists of like games that need to be rebooted, and every single one of them had Chrono Trigger at number 1.
Because Chrono Trigger is that good of a game. They knocked it out the park. Because back in the day, if you made a game, because there was no patches to make sure the game's balanced and it's good, you just put the game out and hope for the best. And that game did exceptionally well. So
I totally agree.
Chrono Trigger is a good idea. All right, so you don't have anything else to add on that one?
No. I think we got our reboots out that we won. Okay. I think one last thing I'll say is that it was kind of hard thinking of top 3 games I want rebooted, because if you think about it, there's a lot of games getting rebooted nowadays.
Yeah, it seems to be a common thing rather than actually coming up with a new IP, which is kind of difficult because, I mean, it's a 50-50. You're either going to knock it out the park or it's going to be a dud like the majority of games, and they're not going to get the limelight that they deserve, even if they are, a good game. So,
right.
But,
I mean, I don't know. I just think when I hear a reboot for a video game, it gets highly more praise than a movie getting a reboot. You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, I do, because that's been the trend the last few years. That's what they want to do. So, okay. Well, either way, Kevin, it was great having you on the show. Maybe we'll get to do this another time.
Yeah, would love to.
All right, hey everybody, that's this episode of XB3. We'll check you. I'm not sorry, XB3. Whoops. Shout out to Kevin, the other Kevin. We'll check you next time on GG. Bye.